So again, like my last video, this is gonna be another video helping me study, but also helping you learn about C pointers for my Systems 1 quiz. So we're gonna go over a basic guide between C pointers and C. So what is a pointer? A pointer is a data type that stores and represents a memory address. It's similar to a reference in Java, but it's a little more powerful and low level. So you have a variable, any of any type, has a name and a value, and that variable's value is stored somewhere in memory, right? So the place of where it's stored is the address. So where in memory it lives. And the pointer just stores where the address itself. Variables in memory. So you got the declaration, so you got the type, the name, and then the value. And since it's an int, it's 4 bytes. And let's say the address is 0x100 and the variable's num. So each char, char is 1, int's 4, doubles 8. The address are hex numbers assigned by compiler, and values are stored in memory. Two key operators. So the ampersand is the address operator. It returns the memory address of any variable. So if we call it on num, we're going to get the hexadecimal value. If we're going to call the dereference operator on this address operator, then we get the value of num. Declaring pointers, you got to have the star, the pointer to an int. You got the data type, the identifier, and the dereferencer. Uh, these are the allocated amount of bytes for each of them. Reading and writing via pointers. So you got int a, which is your declared value of 42. The pointer, which is the this is the address, and this is the pointer. So, oh, went a little too far there. Um, pointer address. We read from the pointer, and it'll give us 42. Day writing, you got your pointer again. We just reinstantialize it with a different value, and then we read it again. So you go to the address and pointer, and then you get the value. Pointer holds the address. Yep, and go to the address. Just to say, because this is pointing to the value of where the memory is at, if we write into pointer, it's going to write into num. So now that we wrote 100 into pointer, it's going to write 100 into num, and num will now be 100, just to clarify. Pointers and functions. Without pointer, let's look at this. So you got void update with a parameter of int value, and value equals 100. This will copy it. However, if you use the pointer, then it will change the value of val to 100. If you do update on num, when you call it, it will change it to 100, while on here, it'll stay 42. C is passed by value, but passing the address, the function can always dereference the pointer and modify the original function. Common pitfalls. Pointer contains garbage. Who knows what it holds? Yeah, over here you don't know what it's not initialized with anything, so you don't know what value it holds. The pointer is given a value, not the address, so it's not accurate. It'll crash. You gotta put it X lives on the stack and is destroyed once this. Essentially, it's the scope of the variables within the method. It needs to be out of scope there. And yeah, always initialize your pointer to a valid address before dereference. Quick reference, you declare a pointer, you can write your pointer's address to whatever value, um, pointer at some variable, get the address of the number, read the value at the address, and print the address stored in pointer. Now you know about pointers. Pointers store memory addresses, not values. At gives you the address. The star, or the ampersand gives you the address. The star dereferences the address. Always initialize before dereferencing, like we saw here. pass the ampersand variable to the function to modify the original.